Hello and welcome back. I'm so excited you're here. Today I'm going to be sharing about my plant-based 60-day journey and how it led to a spiritual awakening and lasted a lot longer than 60 days. So let's get into it. In 2017, I was experiencing health anxiety, and it was right before I really dove into my meditation practice. I wanted to go plant-based to see how I would feel and if I would bring in this higher level of health into my body. At the time, I was living in a state of chronic fear and anxiety about pretty much everything and anything. My mind was just wired to think the worst case scenario, and I was done with it. I wanted a change, and this is one of the changes that I made. I decided to go plant-based and was going to start this in May and do it until July. So I began swapping out meals for completely plant-based meals. In the beginning, I'm not so sure I was doing it correctly. I was getting a lot of salads that were not organic, and I was just making sure I wasn't consuming any animal protein or any animal products and doing completely vegan, plant-based food. In the beginning, I felt like absolute crap. I remember my husband being like, "What diet are you doing? And you haven't gotten off the couch every day after work. I don't think it's working for you." What I saw that process as was a detoxing period. My body was getting used to what the significant change that I was undergoing. But like I said before, I wasn't doing it completely correctly. I wasn't concentrating so much on getting plant protein in. I wasn't focusing on organic, and that's definitely where I would do it better the next time. After about 30 days of not being able to move, something inside me told me, just keep going. And mind you, I was working, I was going to work, but after work, I would just be so lethargic and tired. And my husband did make a few comments, but something inside me just said, keep going, which I did. After an extended period of time, I started to feel a lot different. I started to feel this sense of awakening to more gratitude. I would go out in nature and I would just see and experience and feel nature in a different way. And shortly after, I would say about 40 days of being plant-based, I received the message that I should start meditating. And again, I had no idea what meditation even was, how to even approach it. But I heard the message one day as I was looking out into the sky and the ocean, into the horizon. And I kind of said, okay, note to self. I heard a voice, it said, start meditating. But I really didn't know where to start, where to begin. So I started to journal. And as I journaled, I would ask for guidance and support in my journey and to learn how to meditate. And what I realized about my plant-based journey was that if I hadn't made this change, I don't know at the time if I ever would have gotten to the vibrational frequency to be open to meditation. Shortly after I started my journaling practice, I found Kundalini, and immediately I knew that the practice was for me. I felt a complete shift, a huge change within me right after meditating, even during meditation. But then after, the longer benefits were extremely profound. And I started to realize that becoming plant-based for that period of time was so beneficial to me. It filled my body with so much light, so much energy from nature and earth, and it allowed me to be on the frequency to actually receive the healing benefits from my meditation journey, from my breath work, from mantra. I was literally lighter. I was filled with more light and less energy of karma. So here's the thing. This was in 2017, and at that time, that is what I needed to help me get onto the frequency to be available to a Kundalini awakening and meditation. However, the time has changed, the energy on the planet has changed, and we have a lot of support right now through the sun, the environment, and just the energy overall that's being blasted towards Earth to support us in our ascension journey. So I do not think that everyone needs to go plant-based in order to have a spiritual awakening. I do think eating more foods, vegetables, fruits that come from nature and come from the earth help to connect us to that oneness energy, the oneness between the earth, ourselves, and one another. And that's absolutely what it has done for me. More recently, since it's been about 7 or 8 years, I have incorporated other things into my diet, and I have not felt a shift energetically, but I'm still continuing to make sure that I'm focusing on mostly plant-focused, whole foods. And if I'm eating any animal-based products, I'm making sure that they're organic, they're intentional, and they're conscious products, because everything is energy, and what we consume, we truly become. So making sure that whatever it is we're consuming is of a high value, a high frequency, a conscious decision, I think is most important. Our food definitely impacts how we feel, and it's been a really big part of my journey and my spiritual evolution. So going plant-based for 60 days actually turned into 7 years of being plant-based, because it felt so good to be connected to this source energy within myself. And I would always remember, this is really what helped me to open up spiritually. So that's what kept me continuously focusing on plant-focused meals, until more recently I got the intuitive hit that I needed a little bit more. So I started introducing other foods in on a very intuitive basis. So overall, I think being in touch with our intuition, having a meditation practice, helps us to really understand what it is our body needs, and being able to give ourselves that nourishment in order to access our highest self and our highest energy. If you have any questions for me, I would love for you to leave them in the comments. And if you want to subscribe to my channel so you can see all the new videos I'll be sharing here, I would love for you to do that. If you're interested in joining a community to have access to hundreds of meditations ranging from 3 minutes to an hour, you can check out the link below in the description. That will give you 7 days of free access to hundreds of life-changing meditations. You can also follow me on Instagram and TikTok at incal.xcal. Thank you so much for being here, and I will see you next time.